Go ahead.
Okay, let's start. So thank you for having me here today. Thank you for sparing some time to talk to us about the organization. Perhaps you can share with us how you came about this idea of establishing something like this.
I think there's many sources in which it came about to this. One of it is to figuring out my own duty in this life, what I should be doing. How should I exist in this society, in this time? And how can I be in the most right way to not make the world into a bigger mess than what it is. And the whole thing was inspired by me traveling and seeing a lot of poverty. And I was watching the poverty and I said, a lot of people accept it as how life is. We know third world, we know developed nation, and we know the whole thing. But almost everybody is numb to it, Everybody wants to do something, but nobody knows what to do. So I pondered over it for a very long time because I saw poverty and I decided to, as my own spiritual quest, I fast for 3 years. I just took 1 meal a day and I said, I'm going to see how it feels like. And I'm going to see what is the solution I can come up with. And the best I could come up with is when all of us act as friends, when we establish a platform in which we can be friends to one another, I think the world will heal by itself. Like right now the situation is there's illness in the world. Majority of the people are paralyzed, they don't know what to do. We elect people to solve the problem. And sometimes the people who elect to solve the problem are incapable of solving the problem because the problem seems to be inherent in our civilization. It is like we have accepted some people will be poor, some people will be rich. It is an accepted thing. I can't accept that. So when I investigated it, I found out we fail to exist in a right cooperation in which everybody's well-being will be looked after. That's when I said when we can establish a network of friends in this sense. We establish not just a friend to one another, that's personal, but the moment I recognize you, I know you're a friend to humanity, friend to mankind. You recognize me as a friend to mankind. Now we have a platform in which somehow to find a cooperation to build a better world. So it's a simple idea. I just would like more people to be conscious and to rise and say, I'm a friend to mankind, which means I'm not going to support, act, behave in any way that is going to bring ailment to humanity, deteriorate our current situation. I'm going to support anything that is going to heal humanity. So in the beginning, it's more like a PR campaign.
What type of philosophy?
Sorry?
Is it type of philosophy at the start?
Yes. It is a new morality, I call it. Like sometimes people ask me, what is friends to mankind? My actual response should be, is what we should be. And we should recognize who is being a friend to mankind and who is not. There are people in the name of profit forget to be a friend to mankind because in the searching for profit, they are not watching the destruction they bring. The world has not become the way it is by inherent human nature. It has become the way it is because of the idea of profit and every man for himself. I am here to show and prove, together with everyone that is involved with me, you are not alone. We are together on this. You have many good people in the world, just they don't know any other way. So friends to mankind is actually waking up a new consciousness. It's like I want to invest money. I want to invest money in a company that I know is a friend to mankind company. Right now people invest in companies in which they will have the best returns. They are not looking whether is this company a friend to mankind. Is it producing this in the expense of another human being? It's going to take a while to do this, that I can see. But that movement should start. And one of our goals is to eventually identify companies that are acting as friend to mankind and to highlight that company and to ask people to support that company. Then accidentally we're supporting companies that are indirectly creating poverty and hurt for humanity.
So you said initially it started out as a PR campaign.
Right.
So it started out as a PR campaign to educate corporations or to educate communities, or
You can never educate corporations. Corporations don't want to learn. It is an unconscious entity. The only thing they will listen to is the customers they have. And only when people change and they say, no, we are friends to mankind, we are not supporting anything that is not going to support humankind, corporations will listen. If not, corporation won't listen. It doesn't have consciousness. Its entire sole purpose is to make profit. So it doesn't care. Yes, there are corporations that cares, and that's because of the CEOs and the board of directors. By the nature of corporation, it cannot care. It's a money-making machine. So we didn't go to the corporations first. We went to the people.
Okay, and how did you engage them with this new morality and philosophy?
I speak, I teach, I write. I started there. I started with the people I have. And the beautiful thing is, people are doing this. People are doing this. They are spreading the idea. So it is being spreading now. And part of this interview is hope more people will join in and do their part in just waking this idea up. It's a very powerful idea. No? If I ask you, are you a friend to mankind? You will pause for a moment. You have to reevaluate everything in your life. You have to reevaluate how you're approaching your life. And that re-evaluation is what is needed as humanity for us to get ourselves right. And I have great faith when being a friend to mankind is the morality of the society, we will be fine. Then we won't stand by. Sorry?
Now, how long have you been doing this? I mean, you started with the public, and it sounds like you've been doing it for a while. Yes.
I think it's 97, I think, 96, the idea dawned on to me. I was in India in somewhere year 2000 plus and traveled around. I was searching for the idea. Somewhere 2007, it became integral part of a lot of things that I teach and I share. I got it established in Canada. So we set up a Friends to Mankind in Canada. So it's about 4 years plus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 4 years.
And I'm sure in any setting up any organization there was resistance. I'm sure there were challenges. Maybe you can tell us.
No, it was the strangest thing. You brought up a beautiful point. When I started talking about it, I thought everybody will embrace this. I mean, what's wrong in being a friend to mankind? You would be surprised, like what you said. Wow. There are people who just think it's nonsense. There are people who think we human beings should just fight with each other. There are people who are inherently prejudiced, who live off conflict. So I was very, very surprised when I found resistance in the beginning. But the other part that happened is every day-to-day man who doesn't have vested interest in profiting in another person's misery came embracing this idea. So in another context, there was never a rejection at all. And one of the most beautiful things is, a lot of people started discovering they've already been friends to mankind. And those are the initial supporters we have. The people who work not only to enrich themselves, they work also to enrich another. And one of the beauty about this is I won't even call it an organization, it's a self-organizing entity. I'm not the leader of it. There is no organization to lead you. There is an organization to support you. It is, you can decide tomorrow, I'm a friend to mankind, I want to start a project, we will support. So it is not another way to get power over people again. I'm going to help you, now I'm powerful than you. No. We are asking everybody and anybody to stand up wherever they are, to do whatever they can as a leader for their project. Like just the other day, somebody travels to Thailand often and he was listening to me speak. He came to me and said, I'm not rich, I don't have much money, I have a small business I'm running, but I go to Chiang Mai or Chiang Rai and I saw a lot of children there not educating. Can I do something there as a friend to mankind? I said, go ahead. Now he's trying to do something and help the children there for their education, and I am connecting him with everybody that will support him. Now his project is becoming viable, and that's his Friends to Mankind project. So the idea is to wake everybody up everywhere, doing what they can. We maybe as the founders, will support you in every way possible. You see, one of the goals I was working on a few years ago is to set up a bank, which we are really working on it. The idea of the bank is to invest in anybody who's creating a technology, a work, an effort, that the benefit will be bigger than the money, but people. Like green technology, like self-sustainability. We're going to pump money into these people and support them. Because right now, you only get money if you're going to make profit for somebody. And I think that has been too costly for humanity. Like, I give you a reflection. When I grew up in a beautiful small fishing village where the river is so pristine. Thousands of fish, it's just gorgeous. Right now, you can't enter the river. What happened within 30 years? Somebody decided to profit. But they didn't quantify the damage it has done to the ecosystem, which he probably made a few $1 million, but the damage is a few billion now. And I don't think they can ever reverse it. That is not an act to a friend to mankind. Sorry. So what I'm actually doing is to wake everybody up. Like your work, from what you have just showed up today to do this for us, you are a friend to mankind. You are doing what you can. One of the ideas I want to plant is you are not alone. You see, there is a force that wants to make us believe we are alone, so they can be the supreme power over us. I'm saying you are not alone. I'm a friend. I will do what I can. There are other friends. And the beauty about being a friend is we transcend religion, creed, race, nationality. You are my friend. I'm going to extend myself to you. If you are in pain, I am in pain. So this is a new consciousness. I call it the right success. Right up to now, this last 100, 200 years, we've been plagued by the idea of success. And success has always been at the expense of somebody. Then some smart guy came up with a terminology, win-win. That means the parties that are involved, they're only concerned about the 2% winning. Everybody else lose, it's okay. Right now, all must win. So the pressure we are putting is a bank should not release a loan to any company that cannot prove themselves that they are acting for the benefit of all, not just themselves. And I believe this new morality, this new pressure and demand from the mass public will change humanity completely.
So what do you do with resistance? I mean, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of, playing devil's advocate, a lot of challenges. People are going to say, oh, you have set up this new philosophy. Is there a catch in play if I do this for you, etc., etc.? What do you do with those negativities?
You see, the first thing is, they're going to see onslaught, there's no catch. I'm not the leader of it. I accidentally dreamt of it. I'm not the leader, nor the poster boy. We have no interest in governing you. Like somebody listening to this, they could be in Texas or in Norway and decide, I want to be a friend to mankind. Go ahead and do it. We have created a website very soon. They can write to us. We appoint them as an ambassador, a goodwill ambassador. They start a project, they manage the fund. It is your thing. We are not interested in governing you. Our idea is to reset your power back to you so you can do what you can do. So there can be no catch. I'm not holding anything. Like when I do a project, I take money out of my own pocket and I do it because my heart says so. Other than that, the resistance that is going to be is the non-believers, who I call the doomsday people. No, they believe everything is going to end, the ozone is going to open up, global meltdown. All I have to tell to them is, many of them have existed in the past and nobody remembers of them, so I do not want to even speak of them. They are negative people. They enjoy the darkness. I don't. I have children. I need to believe the future will be bright. I have people I love. I need to live this world better than I find it. So I am the more, whether I believe it or not, I have to believe it. That as a species we will survive, you understand? So, I don't know whether I'm answering your question. What is the catch? I'm not trying to catch you. And there's no net, no hook. It's your world as it is mine. If you need my support, let me know. I will connect networks to you. But you lead it. For the first time, I think an organization is being founded without central control. You see, you know why control is needed? There's no faith in humanity. I have absolute faith in humanity. I've traveled wide, and every time I bump into beautiful people. I mean, there are one or two, of course, everywhere, but they are hurt people. Not that anything wrong with them. I have faith in humanity will do the right thing given the right awareness.
So your role, as I understand it, is to catalyze a lot of this new sort of consciousness.
Like, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Like we have one beautiful young lady, how old? I think she's 27, 28. She's an actress. She's a Hollywood star. So she decided she's a goodwill ambassador of Friends to Mankind. She's going to Somalia. I don't know where she's going. She's going to Cambodia and she's doing something with some Somali moms there. And she's raising fund in United States for it. I don't know what she's doing. Do you know? I don't have to know. She writes to me from some support. I support her. It is her thing. Friends to Mankind, one day we will deregister it. It doesn't have to have a registration. It is people's movement for people, by the people. We are not an organization that want to govern anybody. I'm going to tell you, you don't need governance for you to do right thing.
And you're not here to play moral police.
No,
you're here to...
I think I will fail. If you take morality, I would fail. But the only thing is, all I can tell anybody who questions that part of me is, as a human being, I'm just doing the best I can. Is what I expect out of them too.
Okay, so you fought resistance. How much change have you seen people take upon themselves, especially in the last 10 years since you've thought about this idea? You've gone around to kind of promote, encourage, and motivate this sort of consciousness. Have you seen a lot of change in mindsets amongst the people you meet, or you feel it's still an uphill battle?
The biggest change in mindset I've seen is people are saying, they're not resisting to the idea. And that itself is a big thing.
Okay.
People are saying the only way to be is to be a friend to mankind. And even they identify another person being like that. They say, that guy is a good guy. He's a friend to mankind. He does this. To me, that itself is a success. Like, I was talking about this Hollywood star. She said, I want to use my stardom so I can reach out and speak more and help others. She's already acting like a friend to mankind. So that very band of consciousness being shifted is the way I think our success is. In regards to projects, we have done some. We are doing more. We have started something called a Friends to Mankind Business Network Worldwide, where people come and we support them in business. Like what you just did, we bring experienced speakers to speak. What we are doing is we're supporting young business entrepreneurs in the promise, as they become successful, they will be a better Friends to Mankind. So we are actually deeply involved with as much businesses as we can, supporting them to break the idea that it's like almost like a sinking ship, every rat for itself. They know they are supported, now they're going to support humanity too. And I'm surprised at the amount of people that simply stand up. Like a few days ago, we launched the badge, a Facebook badge, Friends to Mankind.
Oh, okay.
The boys cannot did it. I'm not good with computer, but they did it. It's wonderful. And I can see the amount of people willing to put it up. And what one of the first goals we have to do is to let the world hear there are more Friends to Mankind on this earth than anybody else. That everybody else have to abide by it because it's humanity's heart.
Okay. So, global movement, how do you have a sort of a member base? How wide your reach is? You could illustrate for us.
I really don't know how to answer that. I really don't know how far it has reached because there's no registration.
Right.
Like locally, it is a society. It's a registered society in Malaysia. For us to be a legal entity, I think there are a few hundred people here. In Canada, they're also the same thing. But that is not our priority. All I want is somebody to click and say, I'm a friend to mankind, and start shaping his life that way. And it is his responsibility to do so. So it's a.
So the fact that they click, they'll say they'll do a project to support mankind, to be a friend to mankind, and with your support, to you that is success.
That is success for me, simple as that.
To you that is
And when they can do it without even consulting us,
right.
on their own, that is good enough for us. So this is like a viral movement. This is like a viral movement. The mission of Friends to Mankind is the very organization becoming obsolete because it's accepted. Like being green now. Don't destroy the forest. Eventually it will become obsolete because nobody is going to do it.
It'll become mainstream.
Yeah. Like before you used to see this signboard, don't spit on the floor. Now you don't see it because it's obsolete. So that's the idea we are working on. We are working towards us becoming obsolete, which means the idea has been installed in all of humanity. Like for Malaysia, I'm already lobbying, asking the government to make Malaysia the first Friends to Mankind country in the world. That will be a powerful declaration. That means as a nation, we are not going to promote violence, we are not going to support destruction, we are going to be for equal right. And hopefully all the countries in the world eventually will embrace and declare themselves friend to mankind and relate on that basis. If not, the way we deal with conflict is very ridiculous. You know? In 5,000 years we have fought 10,000 wars.
Yeah.
Just shoot somebody and violence and don't consider. A new consciousness is needed to solve it. The old consciousness won't do. The old consciousness is the world we have inherited. The new consciousness, we might inherit a better world. So that is the effort.
So what powers you? It sounds like a momentous task to instill this seed of new consciousness in people, to create a movement of people that would have the pay it forward attitude. But what powers you? What keeps you going? I'm sure you've had all sorts of moments dealing with.
No, I think I have a disease. I fall in love with people very easily. And I am a big believer in people. I don't think people are inherently evil. We just created situations where their very survival is at stake. That's why they become evil. Like if you have raised dogs, they can be the best friend. But if you corner the dog and you put it in a situation, it's going to attack. So for me, the faith in people is the power I rely on every day to go on doing what I do and the people that I do. And I think it's time to re-establish faith in people. We have heard so much negativity of people. I tell you a story, a beautiful story. I landed up in Melbourne City one day, flight, and I didn't know they were having Grand Prix. And me, my wife, my 2 kids, there was no hotel. And I didn't know what to do. We landed about 9 o'clock at night. I really didn't know, it was cold outside. So I ran in, told my wife, get ready, we might have to sleep in the airport. And then as I came out, I was in Duras and I was looking around. Suddenly a limo driver pulled up and said, son, what's up? I said, I can't find a hotel. He said, you can drive 2 hours, you're not going to get a hotel room. He looked at me and said, get in. I was the one who was scared now. We should just get into the car. We will go look for it. He took me around for 45 minutes, found me a place, drove me back, picked my children up, dropped off, refused to take money, and just went on its way. What do you want me to do? If not, trust and fall in love with human beings. We have made to be suspicious of each other, not to learn to trust each other on slot. And I want to break that momentum. We put padlock not because we trust the neighbor, because we don't trust. I don't know to what extent we can reverse it, but I know we will ease the consciousness, and in that ease of consciousness, we will find creative solutions for ourselves and our future. If not, we are doomed. We are doomed.
But as you're Malaysian, right? As a Malaysian, I mean, having this big heart to pay it forward, I mean, in your observations, what do you think why do you think Malaysians are so fearful or so negative? And do you think that can be reversed?
No, there's 2 Malaysia, At least the Malaysia I was in before and the Malaysia I'm in now. You see, when I grew up, my martial art teacher was a Muslim man. He loved me like a son. Some of my best friends were Chinese. Of course, my own culture, I'm an Indian, and the rest of it. The beauty is I didn't know they were different religion and race. We acted as one, people from the same town. Right now, wrong idea of success are being installed, and until that is not reversed, we're going to lose our beauty of being a Malaysian. The whole idea of being a Malaysian is that quality of unity, of togetherness, of brotherhood, with such fundamental differences. We have differences in faith, in habits, in behavior, but we still can get along because we look at each other as friends, I suppose, as people we care. But right now, the idea of success is splitting us, but I really believe it is not gone, it's just superficially. It is just some group like to use that as a power base for themselves. But I really think the heart of Malaysia is not yet dead, and I hope they don't kill it. That's about all I can say for that matter here.
So moving to, I know you mentioned the word the success splitting people, and then do you think it's really driven by, I don't know, the, like you said earlier about corporate culture, the notion of greed and profiteering? I mean, how with this movement can you break that? I mean, don't look globally at the moment. I mean, look at Malaysia. Is there any possibility?
You see, the whole idea of success is not even greed for money. There's just few. The rest of it is desperation to survive. Every day our survival is being challenged. And those days you can live with little. Now you can't. Those days you can be without a car. Now you can't. So this is being added onto us, and men are being pushed to desperation even more. And another way they're doing it, they're isolating people. This is my point. Only when we come together and we have a group of people who are friends, who are together with us in this life, for the first time, we can move towards right success. And that's exactly what I'm trying to establish in Malaysia through the business community.
Okay.
We have a website, a social engine in which you go register, you find friends. Like you mentioned earlier in our discussion, friends who you have established integrity. And once you have that, you are secure. You don't have to be that desperate. I don't think, I've spoken all over Malaysia and all over the world actually. People are not looking for success. They're just looking to survive successfully. Why do you think people want money? So they think they won't get into trouble. They want to enjoy the Ferraris and the yacht. That's a whole nother thing. But money represents I can survive. But I'm telling you, why did we get there? We are 6 billion strong. In Malaysia, we are 30 billion strong. Why are we afraid? We have each other. You fall, I will help. I fall, you will help. And until that network is not established, you cannot be successful. And my study of successful, financially or in business, are people who have a huge amount of people who back them up. Like you ask how I do this, I don't do this. I have huge amount of people worldwide who are my friends, who play a role in my life. It was very strange. When I was in Canada, I must mention this. I was there for a year, 8 months, I think. Did you know, I never did anything. I had so many people over there. I never drove there. I never took a taxi once. I had so many friends. And you know how I met those friends? My house was open. They sometimes are surprised. Is it okay if I come to your house? I say, come over. I'm a Malaysian, don't worry. Offer you some tea, some coffee. I established such a network of friendship there. I'm more secure there than anywhere else. We have to re-establish that. I assert again, people are not greedy for luxury. People are not greedy for wealth. Because if you haven't had the money, you don't know what it means to have it. If you haven't driven a Porsche, the desire to drive a Porsche is just an idea. And ideas can be changed very quickly. Not everybody is working 15 hours a day to make the money to buy a Porsche or a yacht. The fundamental movement is the fear I cannot survive. And this fear is being installed in you even more, making you feel like you have to do anything to survive. That is the seed of every wrong action. My effort, if you don't have a cent, you still can survive.
I agree.
And sometimes when I was looking at Facebook, I was resistant to Facebook for a long time. No, I'm not very, I don't have that skill of computers. And when I started studying about Facebook, wow. The success of Facebook shows people don't want to be alone. People want to connect. You see, when you don't have friends, then money is the only thing you have. When you have friends, if you don't have money also, you're pretty okay. We have to re-establish that. We did not evolve 6 billion years or 4 billion years to become a human species, to be so alone, to be frightened. You have brought up something very beautiful. My action is to help humanity connect rightly on the right base. Not even you and me being friends. Before that, we established you are a friend to humanity, I'm a friend to humanity. Now let's meet. That I know no matter what you do, you're not going to hurt humanity or me. And so I won't do that same thing too. We can meet perfectly. Because they've used everything to separate us. Like I'm an Indian, you're a Chinese, we are separate. Not really. We are different. And I like things to be different. It's more colorful. And the idea to make all of us separate is to keep us frightened. And this is my accusation to the world. They are doing this deliberately. So somebody can have power over you. They want you to be alone. Sorry?
Fear is the tool for control.
And they are masterful at it. 2011, Earth going to end, and this is going to end, and you are on your own, the market going to crash, we are all going to die. Come on. We survived with so little before. We knew so much less before. We survive as a human species. What are they talking about? This is just fear mongering to cripple you, to keep you alone so they can sell you something.
So what do you tell communities whose soul, poor communities, like you say, you've seen the situation in India. What do you tell those people who just want nothing but rice in their bowls, bread on their table, that how can I help my neighbor when I can't help my child to eat?
Right.
How can I,
No, to those poor community, all I say to them is, I'm your friend. I say, I'm a friend and I'm doing what I can for you, trust that. And I do what I can, and I bring other friends. You cannot expect them to do anything for you, because they themselves are struggling. But as their friend, I'm doing something. I'm mobilizing people to do something. So that is my message for the poor people. I'm your friend. Like, I do not speak for the affluent people. No? I represent for the person who's suffering without meals. There's no roof. I represent them, and I recognize I am one of them. And until that is done right, I'm not going to rest. Because they are my friends. How can I be happy when I see a 2-year-old child sleeping in hunger? It's an impossibility for me. And I'm waking that up in everybody else. So the poor people, I'm not even asking them anything. You do the best you can to survive. Let us who are your friend, who are more able to play a role for you.
Do you think when they are capable enough to help their friends, then they can also come fall into the circles?
Of course. You will help when you have been helped. Simple as that. The country that helps its people, the people will help the country. Simple as that. We have not gone out and reached out enough to set that consciousness. They are harboring more for us to just be with ourselves and support the violence. So that faith I have. That faith I have.
So it is through the power of your critical mass, you continue with, tangibly speaking, like you continue through talks, you do it through your networks. What else do you do?
Mobilizing people. Like recently they were all on television, they are promoting their business network. I'm not involved in it at all. They are doing it, and they are now organizing new chapters. In Canada, they are starting a few movements. Almost every American or Canadian who goes on a holiday somewhere, I always say, as a friend to mankind, do something there. Organize something. So you got to understand, I am not asking you to go out of your way to do anything or change, even give up. While you are doing it, I say do a little bit more. Imagine that power. You take the initiative. I'm saying don't wait for a leader. You lead. And people ask, what can I do? What hurts you the most? What hurts you the most, you do that. Like if you see poverty hurts you the most, then that's where your calling is. If you see human trafficking hurts you the most, that's your calling. If you whatever that hurts you, I have a student in Whistler. She is passionate about people eating local food, whole food, and that's her passion. And she's an advocate of it. She's a friend to mankind. She's saying support the local industry. So I'm saying, what is that you want to do? All I can do is speak. I'm an Indian. And that's what I do. I go and speak and wake consciousness up. I do my writing. I try to publish a few things. That's what I can do. I'm sitting wondering what you can do, what another can do.
So it doesn't have to be a gallant project like Lead To. You could just even buy local products because you support the local industry. You could, I don't know, close your neighbor's gate for them because it's left open. Those sort of little things matter.
Little thing. And everybody doing a little thing, first thing will change the consciousness. Next thing, there will be nothing left to change because we all have looked after it. I think it is in some sense, humanity's spiritual duty. And which is waking up in everybody. You know, all over the world it's waking up. Everybody wants to do something. Everybody. So the idea they said human beings are bad, we need to have an M16 to protect is lie. Yeah, there are few, but there are so few not worth mentioning. So by this changing, like people put a badge and say, I'm a friend to mankind, they're creating a change, in the world. They're telling somebody, I'm making a stand not to do anything in any way to hurt humanity. I'm going to bring people together. I've heard a Sufi story, a very beautiful story, it's worth mentioning here. A king was very impressed with the Sufi man's writing, so he sent him a gift. He sent him a scissors because the master likes to do tailoring or something. Scissors with diamond and emeralds. So the mystic sent it back, said, I don't want. So the king asked, why and what would you want? He said, give me a needle. Then the king asked, what is the wisdom behind it? He said, I want to stitch things together, not cut them apart. Friends to Mankind stands with that philosophy. So like what I'm asking everybody is, what is that you want to do? Let me know how I can help. If I can't help, can you figure out how you can help yourself to do that? Little things. And humanity must hear the mass of humanity's voice. They must say, enough with war, enough with exploitation, enough with this living a life that has absolutely no meaning, making somebody else rich. We want a different life, and we are not asking you to do it, we are doing it. We are not asking the government to change, they are maintaining like a sinking ship, they are doing the best to maintain it. Like I met a Marine who joined the Marine in the United States, and then he said, so what do you have to say? I said, well, hold on to the world from blowing themselves up while we figure out the solution. Because all you can do is prevent us from killing each other. You do that for me. I'm not saying stopping you from being a military man, but give us a little time who are finding the permanent solution so you don't have to carry arms ever again. So this is an effort to eradicate all problems. And we are doing that by restoring humanity's faith to themselves. Like today, you talking to me, you're playing a role, a big role. Thousands are going to listen to this, and like if you're an Easterner and you believe in karma, this is good karma.
Do you see this is a new religion, sort of a new religion?
I hope not. There's enough religion. I hope not. I just think it should be a song from a boy from a small fishing village, which I was, and it's a song of all human beings. That's it. It should not be a religion. It should not. Then you have to govern it. There is law. I think you have enough laws to deal with. You have enough moral code to deal with. I don't want to give you another one. I just want to say, wake your heart up. What do you feel like doing? and do. And whatever you are doing with your life, be very conscious it's not hurting another. No, it will never be a religion.
No. So it motivates you to change the consciousness of society, and then to a point where friends to mankind are it's obsolete,
Yeah.
it's deregistered. So what happens then to you? What plans do you have
Do I
for
have?
yourself? Yeah.
I will retire to my small village. And I'm a simple person. You're asking about a personal question. I'm not very ambitious. I enjoy myself way too much to want anything more. I'm pretty content. Well, that will be nice because now I can do something I like to do, which is maybe fishing or gardening. Maybe that's what I would do.
So when do you think that will happen?
I think when enough of us start doing what we're supposed to do, then we can take a break a little bit. No, but until then I look at it as my privilege.
Because you mentioned children, right?
Right.
You have children. I'm sure you share this philosophy
Right.
with them and teach them. I mean, and I'm sure they've give you feedback and
Right.
talk to you about it. What do they tell you?
No, my children think I'm uncool. They are teenagers. No, they are not going to talk to me or listen to me. But my daughters did something that amazed me. Out of the blue, one day they came and they did this thing called Girl Effect. They were doing a project. This is about fighting against child marriages.
Okay.
They say if you want to help a child, you must help the child before it's 12. So they got together, they started a flash mob, they performed, they raised money, and I was like, and the first thing they told me when they were telling me about the ideas, I don't want you to get involved. I said, why not? No, we will do. Wow. And I was very shocked to see my daughter did that. She went on television, she went out there, she promoted. And I think they are acting as friend to mankind without knowing they are. And that's what I want to see. And I remember one reporter was asking a question. They raised some money for somebody in South America and said, what happens if I buy you a ticket to send you to South America to visit them? I'm sure they like to. My daughter said, can you give me the money for the ticket? I'd rather send it there than me going there. That stopped me in my track. Remember this? I didn't inspire them in any way, didn't tell them to do. This is 13 and 14-year-old girls deciding to do themselves. Wow, maybe they saw their parents acting as friends to mankind, maybe. But I cannot take credit for that. But that's the faith I live by. But they're teenagers, so.
I mean, I work with a lot of Gen Y myself, and I get all sorts of different characters. Some like that, like your daughters, and some completely the opposite. In your dealings, in your experiences, are there more of your daughters around in the world?
Maybe the environment I'm in, I bump into them. Because all my daughter's friends who got together, they're all like them. A bunch of them got together, made performance. I think the negative people are the people who inherited from the family who are angry. And his anger is usually out of greed. They're angry they didn't have the big car. What's wrong with your small car? So, we have a lot of people in this world who don't know how to be grateful, who continue to complain. And that attitude must change, and they pass that on to the children. But it is changing though. It is changing. Maybe I'm not bumping into them. Maybe that could be a possibility. But the way I see the collective movement, it is changing. Like I have a guy named Tim, a student, a beautiful fellow. I sometimes listen to him. It blows me away the ideas he's doing for people, what he wants to organize. I'm looking at him and I'm saying, thank God there is hope for humanity. He and his boys, Adam and the whole gang. Sometimes I listen to them, I'm so impressed. I just want to fan that.
And let it continue.
Let it continue. And that's what you and I should extend. A lot of times I tell people, go attend his functions, go support him. Because we have to support this for the betterment of ourselves. Trust me, all the people who are negative are nothing, just grumpy, stupid people who are greedy. There's no reason to be grumpy. There are people with one meal and still can afford to smile. And that's what we need to change.
Okay, so maybe to close as a final remark, your daughter is obviously some way you rubbed off on her,
Yeah.
or the community has rubbed off on her. Will you see her carrying this torch for you going forward for what you've done in the last 12, 15 years?
I'm very certain my daughter is not going to follow me. But I think I'm going to be following her, doing a lot of things she's doing. But she's on. She and her gang and her team are on. They're all dancers, they're almost professional dancers now. No, that's what their life is about. And they are moving forward. And we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Because all these people are out there. And I just want to bring that message over and over and over again until we all see it and say it's okay. Like if I talk to my mother, first thing my mother will talk about fear. You have enough money? Are you looking after yourself? This is the old school. They are part of the past conditioning. They are a race which has been abandoned. We are going to be the race that has been embraced. We are going to be the race that has been loved, cared for, fought for. Somebody fought for your well-being. And we are a whole new breed. And my children and their generations are going to be that. It's not going to be a generation that has been abandoned, so afraid they have to lift up a weapon to kill another human being for survival. We have created love in motion now. But I think what we have to do is look after it. You see, I must say one thing. I don't think friend to mankind is something I created. I think I labeled it rightly. I think it has always existed, just that nobody brought light to it. I am bringing some light to it. And I think my parting message is we'll be fine. As a species, we'll be fine. We take control.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Thank you.